Hey everyone, Craig here. Tonight I'm going to be walking through setting up your Wwise project to be implemented into your Unity project. It's a little tricky and there's a lot of things that you can do wrong in setting it up. So when you're following this tutorial, make sure you're following it very closely. So the first thing we'll do is let's just get a standard Wwise project up going. We're just going to create a little project here. It'll just have a music file and an event that will play the music file. We're gonna initialize that in Unity so that when the game is started up, the song will play on launch. So what we'll do here is we'll create a new project in Wwise. Let's just call it test. Alright. So then in your audio panel here in the Project Explorer, make sure you have that selected. You're going to import audio files, add files, and on my desktop I already have a WAV file ready to be imported into my Wwise project. So I'll import that. So now I have the file here in my default work unit. I'm going to convert this file to my Windows platform. That's what I am using for this test. Okay, so that's good. The next thing we're going to want to do is to create a play event for this sound. So you'll right click it, new event, play. Now we have an event for this song that will trigger inside of the Unity project. If you have a weird name for your event, I would recommend changing it. We're going to have to remember it later on in the tutorial, so I'm just going to change mine to play music. And there's an underscore between play and music if you can't see it. Alright, so looks like we're good there. Just going to save. And then the next thing we're going to want to do is to generate our sound bank. So we're going to go into layouts, choose our sound bank layout, and then the next thing we're going to want to do is create a new sound bank. Let's just call this sound bank music. So while you have music selected here, I just double clicked on that to get it opened up in the sound bank editor. You're going to drag and drop your audio file into the sound bank editor. Now you have that sound as well as the event that it's associated with inside of your sound bank editor. The next thing we're going to want to do is go to user settings and make sure you have this generate header file selection selected. That was one thing that I didn't do that confused me for a long time. There may be a way to set up your Unity project without doing this. I believe there is, but the way that I got Wwise to work within Unity is by using this generate header file option. So you'll select OK, and then you're going to generate that file, the sound bank file. Alright, so go ahead and close, and then we should be good in our Wwise project. I'm just going to save real quick, then close out of this. So the next thing we're going to want to do is open up our Unity project. I have a shortcut here on my desktop for Unity. Create new project. Let's just call this Wwise Unity test. tutorial. It's not a test. No tests. I hate tests. Okay. So the first thing we're going to want to do is to get our Wwise Unity plugin files into our Unity project. So the way we'll do that is right click on your project hierarchy, show in Explorer, different window, so I'll just drag that over here, and within my assets folder I'm going to place my plugin folders into it. So I dragged my folder for my Wwise Unity plugin onto my desktop just for easy use. Here it is. Now I'm going to go into deployment, my platform that I have a license to develop for, assets. I'm going to copy the AK folder. It contains all the scripts we're going to need for the plugin to operate correctly. And we're just going to paste that into our assets folder for our Unity project. The next thing we're going to do is create a folder, call it plugins, and we're going to take the DLL, or copy the DLL from the profile, can't remember what it's called. It's the type of plugin that we're going to use. Each of these are used for different reasons. I'm not going to get into it in this tutorial, maybe in a future one. For this example, we're just going to use the profile one. So copy your AK Sound Engine DLL. Copy. We're not going to need this other file here. And paste that in your plugins. So good, we got the DLL, we got our AK folder, and now we're going to create a folder for our sound banks. So we're going to create two folders here. First one's going to be called Streaming Assets, and then the other one is going to be called Audio. We're going to drag our audio folder to the streaming assets, and then we're going to find our generated sound bank folder within our Wwise project and dump that onto our audio folder. So back in our documents, I'm going to go to Wwise projects, test, generated sound banks right here. And within these folders are files we're going to need for our sound banks to work. This is the generated header that we created in Wwise. And then these are our sound bank and event information files. So let's copy this folder, paste that into our audio blah blah. Cool, it's there. We're almost through this. That will update in your Unity project once you bring it back to front. So the next thing we're going to do is drag some scripts onto a game object that we have in our Unity project. I found that just using it for the main camera, or putting the files on the main camera, does the trick. If you want to create your own individual game object, I'm pretty sure that works too. So we're going to go into our AK folder, examples. We're going to drag the Sound Engine Initializer script onto the inspector while you have the main camera selected, and also this script here. Now this base path here in the Global Sound Engine Initializer, that's the path for your generated sound banks. I know it doesn't look exactly like, it's not the exact path for the bank files. I find it a little confusing, but it works this way, and that's all that really matters, I guess. So the next thing we're going to do then is edit our script execution order. We're going to go back into our AK folders, examples, drag our Sound Engine Initializer script there, also our game object script, game object tracker, finally the sound engine terminator. And what we're going to need is for these first three scripts to be before the default time in the script execution order. The way we do that is by changing the priority number of the scripts by just making them negative. Oh, whoopsie daisies. This will need to be first. Yeah, there we go. Boom. There we go. So that's good. Apply that. Okay, so good there. Then the next thing we're going to want to do is to create a script that will initialize our play event and play the music when the game starts. So we're going to right click on the project hierarchy, create C# script. New behavior script. Let's just call it trigger play. And now I already created a copy of this on the desktop. You can find an example of the script in the documentation that comes with your Wwise Unity plugin. So I'm just going to copy this. And then I'll go through it. So I have it in my mono develop project here. There's a script. Going to copy paste that. And now the files you'll want to change not the files. The parts of the script that you'll want to change are the things in quotes here. This will say your bank.bnk, and this will say your event, I believe. You'll need to replace this first quote here with the sound bank you want the sound to be called from, and then also the event that will happen for this instance. So we're just going to save that, close out, we'll be all set there. Now, last but not least, we're going to create a new game object. Let's just call it music. Then while you have the music game object selected, drag your trigger play scripts onto the game objects. And also we're going to want to create a scene here. Almost forgot that. Cancel. Let's just file save scene. Let's name it test scene 01. Okay. And looks like we're pretty good here. So now when we press play, our music will play on start. And there you have it. That's the basic setup for getting your Wwise project implemented into your Unity project. There's a whole world of possibilities that you can do with this. I'm myself just getting into it, so I'm going to try to help everyone else who's in the same position as I am trying to learn this thing. So expect more tutorial videos in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it helped you figure out how to use this implementation process, and good luck.